All right, this is Toy Box Podcast Supplemental. We're going to do a last night spoiler cast because everyone has been subjected to Michael Bay's newest vision of... I don't know what the hell I just watched.
Well, I've been subjected twice.
Twice.
I was going to be subjected twice, but then some family members came up and I was denied.
Disowned that family. I went Friday after not being flooded from the rains this past week, so yay.
Yay! That rain sucked.
It's just water, you wuss.
Yeah, tell that to a car going through 3 feet of water. It's just water, car. Don't worry. I'll
You
prepare
done right. Make your own home snorkel.
No.
Put a snorkel on that thing, you're good to go, man. It's party time.
All right, let's just start with, did last night meet any of your expectations, or did you even have any going into it?
When I went to go see it, I basically knew, okay, it's a Michael Bay movie. So, but I was also excited because when I saw the trailers, it had a different theme to it. I mean, it had the night theme, and first people thought it was cheesy. But then when I saw it, everything with King Arthur in the beginning, how it all built up, and how the Autobot Night Transformers looked when they transformed and turned to Dragonstorm and everything. And there was no stupid cube morphine either. It was all transformation, which was great. My hair was standing on the back of my neck. As soon as Cogman was called the headmaster, I was like, oh! I just really enjoyed it more than all the previous incarnations. I thought it was stupidly funny. It's kind of like, what's that, Mike? Help me out. The other robot mech movie that humans patrol.
Pacific Rim? Pacific Rim?
Huh? Yeah, Pacific Rim, where it's so awesome it's stupid.
What?
And that's kind of what
you gotta be careful what you say about Pacific Rim, dude.
And it was just my hair was standing on the back of my neck. And when they finally announced Unicron, but after they announced it, they didn't do like Thanos teaser like Marvel did. No, they made sure Unicron was prominently mentioned at least 4 times in the movie, and then his maws started sticking out of the earth. Not his horns, it's his maw, his mouth.
Your mom.
Huh? Did you say Google? And I was like a little schoolgirl. I was having a blast. My buddy Evan was looking at me like, "Man, you're really enjoying this." Heck yeah, this is great. And it just the feel of it. It felt better than all the previous incarnations. One will always have a warm place in my heart because it was the one that shocked us. It was the most impact, but this one was by far exceeded my expectations. Even when it got near where it got all crazy in the end. Okay, so we're going to do this, and then Quintessa and Prime and Nemesis Prime, and then Unicron, and then we're going to destroy this power thing, and then this guy's not going to do that, and you're the last night. What the heck's going on? But I loved it because it actually made sense at the end. They didn't really leave anything kind of like you didn't know, and Anthony Hopkins was great. Oh gosh, I was laughing.
He stole every scene he was in.
Oh yes, every scene he was in. He helped make that movie awesome, and his character was fantastic. I just love it when he sat there and just told the Prime Minister, "Just shut up, just shut." And I mean, all the references. I mean and the nods they did to the fans, even though it was really cheesy, the way Bumblebee kind of blew apart, but the way they did it, the way he came back together, was so ridiculously, awesomely stupid, you can't help but enjoy it.
So Bumblebee is the werewolf from Monster Squad.
Yeah.
So the trick is you gotta kick him in the nards.
Yeah, and I thought that girl Isabella would be really annoying, but she wasn't that bad. And it actually, everything kind of blended together better than the trailers, and I just liked it. It was a good time. And the only thing I didn't like at the end is that when they teased Unicron, and they left me wanting more. But it's cool though. I mean, it's like in Michael Bay films, they kill off all these Transformers on a regular basis, well, hardly anybody died.
All
Decepticons did.
Decepticons. Lots and lots of Decepticons.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, a lot of Decepticons, and you guys noticed that the fan service they did an homage to the '86 movie where like where Rodimus threw Galvatron at a Unicron. They kind of did that with Prime and Megatron.
Yeah.
I just thought it was a Sparta
and if you
kick.
didn't catch that, yeah, but it was great. And then when Prime all of a sudden became Prime again, and
Oh God, I rolled
he
my
did
eyes
this really
so hard about
cheesy-
that. I nearly had a seizure.
Yeah, when he did that real cheesy theme, what he does, the dialogue, and then he just went to battle, and he took down Infernicus. Oh man, that was awesome. I really enjoyed that. I thought it was compelling. I thought it was great. I enjoyed it. I know people hate it, but I loved it. It was a good time, and I want to see it again. And this time with my wife.
Yeah, that's what I did. I saw it when it premiered Tuesday night when the wife was working, and then we went yesterday, and she fell asleep during the middle of it. So I was like, whatever. For me, like the first time I saw it, it blew my mind. You know, the horns / maws started popping out, and I was like, well, wait a minute, what could that be? And I was like, there's no way they're going to do Unicron in a live action movie. You know, there's no way. And then when they finally get to that point, I was like, oh shit. They're doing the RID version, you know, where Unicron's at the center of the planet. You know, this one's a little more interesting. You know, he's trying to get ready to defend himself against, you know, Primus / Cybertron. Love that. Just that concept alone means that we're going to get Unicron figures of some kind in the Bayverse, and you know, I'm really I've been looking forward to that for, you know, a decade. Yeah, the character Isabel Squeaks was nowhere close to the irritant I thought they were going to be. Yes, his only dialogue is Chihuahua, but it's not obnoxious. And it's not, you know, the giggle twins from Revenge of the Fallen or wherever it was.
What did Squeak say when he blew up the gun emplacement?
It was something like F you. It was something along those lines of screw you, F you, you know, in his little squeaky, you know, dialect that he has.
Yeah, he actually did say the cuss word in his own. Yeah, I thought that was funny.
Yeah, like screw you, boom. You know, yeah, the action bits at the end were crazy, but like Tim said, you know, it was all, you know, if you paid attention, it was all coherent and reasonable. I am such a huge fan of the fact that Megatron went back to being Megatron. And they just completely ignored the morphing shit of AOE without even a mention of why or what had happened. They just completely glossed it over as if it had never happened.
Just as AOE should be treated.
Yeah, basically. I was a little disappointed that we only got to see the two Dinobots, you know, Grimlock and Slag, whatever his name is. And even he was in for just like a half a second.
Yeah, he was in the background.
Yeah. I guess we got the little mini bots, you know, the little baby dinos, whatever.
Those are so cute.
Yeah, they were cool. I was like, all right, whatever.
So the beginning of the last night was the end of Transformers Victory.
Do what?
I just had the thought that the end of Transformers Victory is the start of the last night with the little baby dinosaurs.
I never saw Victory. So.
Oh,
I've seen very little of the animated shows.
I have Victory. I haven't watched in a while. My memory gets a little bad, get a little foggy at my age, if you know what I'm saying.
But yeah, no, Anthony Hopkins just blew it away. Cogman was awesome. Loved Cogman. But you know,
split personality.
One thing
split personality.
But I'm a little disappointed though. Cogman never actually transformed into anything. You know, they referred to him as a headmaster, but he never became the head of anything.
I was hoping he was going to take Nitro's body.
The car they were in was his body, though. The silver car they were in was his body, but they left it behind and switched vehicles, which made no sense.
Yeah, so I was just like, you know, but that was never really. I mean, yes, we're getting a toy of that, but you know, the only other ambiguous part was, you know, when they're in that really funky looking jet. You know, when he goes and picks up Mark Wahlberg, you know, you hear him talking, but you don't actually see him. Like Mark Wahlberg's up in the pilot seat looking around, and you hear Cogman saying something, but you don't actually see him. So that was okay, maybe he's transformed into part of that weird ass looking jet. So,
well, if you remember the toy, the Voyager toy, he has the ability to take over Nitro Zeus's body. So that's Nitro Zeus's jet form, possibly, at least in the movie. I don't know.
I don't know, maybe.
Well, Nitro has a different body that we see, and Nitro did lose his head at one point. I was hoping Cogman was going to show up at that point, wreak some havoc, but no, nothing.
Well, when the TRF and everybody shows up at Anthony Hopkins' castle, the World War II tank bot and another bot that kind of looked like a silver Jetfire robot mode, started, to try to defend. So,
oh yeah,
that makes me think that jet that Wahlberg was in was just his own deal. That's ambiguous. I don't know. The submarine. Oh my God, the World War II submarine that they took down to, the ship is supposedly a transformer. I want that toy.
The sequence was cool too. I thought.
I want it like a Voyager. I want it big.
Yeah, and I was hoping we see him transform and what his name was. They just, it's pretty much clear it's a transformer. It's just that maybe they ran out of budget or something, or they thought, oh, if we bring out this big guy, kind of take away from Infernicus. And now there is one disappointment. The rumor of Bruticus never happened. Onslaught got onslaughted very quickly.
And
Onslaught went out like a bitch.
The little van is supposed to be Swindle. We only see him in car mode like twice, and the second viewing, I really paid attention to try to see him in his robot mode. And when they attack the town and get all blown up, and Onslaught gets beheaded, and everybody basically all the Decepticons get killed. There is a robot that runs, and he's got some like shoulder paneling that's kind of the same color as that little 1960s van. So that's my best guess that's who Swindle was. But yeah, no Bruticus.
Who was Dreadbot supposed to be? Like what vehicle?
The Dreadbot was he the one that got released? No, Berserker was the one that didn't get released. Okay, so Dreadbot might have been that one.
I'll eat you. I love it when he said that. I'll eat you.
Yeah. So Dreadbot might have been that van.
That's what I was thinking, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, if I go see it a third time, I'll double check. So well, Tim, if you're gonna go see it again, so when they do their little prison breakout thing, pay attention to that guy.
I will definitely pay attention. I mean, I did see Swindle from a distant shot as they were traveling as a group to go to the junkyard to take out Kate and the Autobots. But that's the only time I saw him, so I'll have to double check next time I go see it, which I will go see, hopefully Friday with my wife.
Oh,
schedule pending.
Let's see what else. The human characters weren't nearly as irritating as in previous movies. I mean, overall, for me, this was the best Transformers movie, live action. I mean, maybe even better than the animated one originally. I don't know.
I would honestly say, though, what I enjoyed most is that the Transformers were not background characters like all previous movies. They were the focal point, and humans were more kind of a side character. And but when they brought them in, they made it with a purpose. Like, it had Michael Bay's over-the-top humor, like when that metal liquid thing started to go down his pants.
Yeah.
But it wasn't ridiculous. They didn't go crazy like they did with the twins or all the other stuff that they've done in the past. It was just subtle enough that it wasn't too much, but it was enough there that, it's Michael Bay's humor. But it was still funny, because you think of all the jokes you could have without the conversation. Okay, well, And it turns out that thing that was going around his body wasn't just a symbol; it was Excalibur, and that was awesome.
Yeah,
I think we killed everybody. They're dead from we all brought energy. I think Maz and Mike just.
All right. Well, here's the notes that I took on it.
Here's
first
the fault.
off, I want to say I like the movie. Some of this might sound like I don't. Actually, I like the first 2/3. I'll go with that. The first 2/3 I thought was very well done. This is probably the best Bay has ever done. Then the last third I thought disintegrated into Bay being Bay. All right.
Well, you got to have the climactic fight scene with chaos and everything running around.
All right. So Yeah, I felt terrible for Canopy for saving punk-ass kids. Hated those kids.
Yeah.
Canopy seemed pretty sweet, but yeah, he was doomed. It was going to be a plot point, him dying as soon as he showed up, and we pretty much saw that already. A little surprised we have green Energon blood now and green Energon saliva. I'm used to blue from before. And my dog is going crazy
maybe
somewhere.
that's his antifreeze.
I like Cogman being a ninja butler. That was amusing. The TIE Fighter drones, I kept thinking that they were just metal footballs, just punking Cade all the time for revenge for AoE.
Right?
Because, yeah, they kept transforming into their more armored mode and busting him in the chest and knocking him through things, out windows. It's like, holy crap, it's just mecha footballs.
Hey, man, did you like it when they had the music scenes when Anthony Hopkins was talking about the past?
Yes.
Cogman on the accordion, he kept singing. And
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Cogman for everything except when he pulled a gun on Cade in the submarine. It's like, wait, where the hell did this come from? This escalated too far. I get that he has some anger management issues, but went to the nuclear option. I don't even know what the hell he even said in that scene.
Well, maybe Cogman suffers from an earlier version of PTSD, kind of like War Dog, that old tank that's shot first and asked who they were later.
Or War Dog just has dementia. A common thing with dementia is that you live in the past. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
I liked B and Hot Rod killing Nazis. That was awesome. That could be a movie all into itself. I'd be all for that.
I really wish that the B prequel that we were going to get was going to be that and not set in the 70s. Because
Yeah, that'd be
World War
great.
II with Transformers would just, I'd be down.
Because, yeah, killing Nazis is always okay.
Yeah.
I was actually a little worried from the promo poster of B with the flag. I was worried that maybe B was going to be a Nazi, because I can almost see that happening, but I'm glad he was on the right side on that one. Or how much time and money was used for all the cool sets for the Earl's Castle and where all he was going, and all the reproductions of pictures, and then we just barely saw any of it.
Yep.
Wondered if Sam is dead, if Anthony Hopkins is the last Witwicken. Because we get a shot of Sam, he says he's the last one, and that's it.
Oh, we could be so hopeful.
I kind of like Sam in Dark of the Moon. He finally grew up a little bit. Volleybot I thought was super disturbing. That
Which
was
one?
the bot in Cuba. Because I was looking at the credits trying to figure out who it was, because that is not Topspin's head. It's Topspin's body and Leadfoot's head.
Ah.
But in the credits he's referred to as
That put me
Volleybot.
off.
Huh.
So I'm hoping there's a deleted scene out there somewhere with him and John Turturro playing beach volleyball with some Kenny Loggins music.
Okay. I saw some post on Facebook today. Take it with a grain of salt. It's a picture of the actual Blu-ray release cover of The Last Night, and it says 40 minutes of extended footage.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, if they do that, I will fully recommend this movie. Love the submarine scene. But yeah, I want to have it explain if it's a transformer or not, because jumping the moorings is a concern. Thought Crosshair's Drift and Hound didn't really matter for the plot at all. I mean, Hound even points out they doesn't even get a chance to say hi when Optimus shows up. I think they are background filler. The three of them are.
Crosshairs, I would say for sure was superfluous, other than just somebody to, argue with B. Drift and Hound got in some combat, especially Hound. I loved how he punked Megatron when Hot Rod hit him with his little time gun.
Yeah, Hound is always awesome.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, you're going to eat." He just opens fire, and it just all stops like Matrix style, and then boom. I like
There's
that.
a
That was
video
fun.
game called, I think, Time Shift, and that was one of the shticks of it, is you could encapsulate people in a time bubble and just fire a bunch of rounds into it, and when time restarted, they'd all be hit at the same time.
Yeah.
So, in Infernicus, I just thought of him as Mecha legend Tim Curry.
I get it. I see it now.
And yeah, I was
See,
disappointed
I am a little disappointed that the Infernicus toy that we're getting is just a rehash of the RID Little Abominus Combiner. That's a little disappointing. I'm hoping for maybe something a little more.
Well, the trailer showed Infernicus, his death scene, essentially. So when he decombined and they all lunged to Optimus, I'm like, oh no, it's this bullshit 360-degree sword swing killing everyone. And that's what it was. Anyway, those are my thoughts.
I'd like to add on to like Hot Rod. He's definitely not the same character as the animated, the G1 era, but he's also nowhere near as annoying as I thought he was going to be. With he's got a French accent. So that I was a little happy for.
Yeah, I liked him. I had no problems with him. I was really worried going in. I thought it was kind of neat that his primary ability was not really such an aggressive thing. Except for the first time he used it, of course, popped everyone into the air in slow motion because that is one of Bay's new favorite tricks.
Yeah.
Every other time they just stop. But that first time, everyone's going to explode and pop into the air. Oh, yeah. And also, when B spoke and went over Optimus's mind control, I was joking that bullshit was going to happen. And when it actually happened, I was so pissed.
Now, Maz, do you remember in a previous podcast I mentioned when we were talking about last night, I said, bet me that they're going to introduce Unicron as a teaser to use this big, huge story arc for the next 10 years, because who else would be the ultimate villain? And I was right.
Well, we already know there's 2 more movies coming out besides the Bumblebee prequel, so we got something to work on. I would love a Central Earth, deal like what they did in Transformers Prime. And where Unicron starts manifesting himself, on the surface. That I'd be down.
Oh, how about the explanation for like natural disasters and stuff? Because he looks at humans as parasites because he recently woke up, so he creates more of these natural disasters, and that would make it a more humanoid kind of connection, but also make the character more believable.
Yeah. I mean, you could make that as simple as, his functions are coming back online, increasing or decreasing the magnetic field, and therefore causing,
I like that if he was supposed to wake up like 100 years ago, but we've been poisoning his ass so hard that he can't get it up anymore.
He's got robotic function.
Well, I guess his horns are growing 3 meters every day, so...
Well, okay. Again, it's not his horns; it's his maw. Because if it was his horns, it'd be 2.
Well, something that's going to be interesting, for the follow-up movies, assuming they follow the same storyline, is so Cybertron is literally right over there. Like it's closer to us than the moon is. An object of that size and gravity, I mean, would just destroy this planet just by its own gravitational influence. Like,
oh yeah, so
there
were some like unbelievable parts, like Cybertron literally kind of just hooking onto the Earth and
scraping off parts of Earth. There's been more swirling CG world destruction porn.
Yeah, and now according to the movie, I remember this says like Cybertron's attached to the Earth now.
Yeah,
or Unicron.
There was some theories that what was happening is Cybertron and Unicron, or Primus and Unicron, are both sort of conscious. So Primus is trying to scrape off parts of the Earth to get to Unicron, and Unicron is, his maw is showing, in defense. He's getting ready to defend himself. So, the theory is there that they're both at least somewhat sentient and somewhat conscious. So, they're kind of still there. They're still in proximity. So, going to keep growing? What's going to happen? What are we doing?
Well, you stayed to watch where Quintessa disguised herself as a human, right?
Oh yes, of course.
Yeah. And what I don't get, I didn't see what was happening with
that actress is ridiculously hot. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So the part where she's like, "Don't do that. He doesn't like that," and I'm like, "What is the guy doing besides standing there?" And I think if that image of the Blu-ray box is actually true, I think to have it down to at least 2 hours and 39 minutes, they had to cut out at least like 40 minutes of stuff. So when in editing, I was like, oh, okay, well, this won't really matter. It's a little teaser at the end. So maybe this guy's doing something that, it actually gets a reaction out of Unicron. He's like, just wait till I wake up,
Well, I imagine, you've got this massive artifact that's obviously alien growing. They're going to be investigating and taking samples, and they're going to have literally hands on the subject. They're going to be trying to do like an archaeological, excavation. So I imagine we might see a little bit of that.
I know the thing is that people are not realizing, Bran, that we realize it. It's just like, they mentioned Unicron. I mean, we know who Unicron is, and I literally was just like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be so good, you know.
Once they finally
potential to
confirmed
be
the
good,
name,
you mean.
I'm about shit myself.
Yeah, yeah. I literally, my hair was standing up, and I felt like I was a child again. It's 1986, and I was just, oh man, oh man, that was a good day. That was a great day, and
Well, just
yeah.
remember the tears in the 86 movie, because the next movie will be an even-numbered movie, which tend to be the worst ones out of these films.
As long as we get a Unicron toy, I don't care. I mean, we technically got a Cybertron toy this movie.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of, I think that's Hasbro's way of kind of hint. Hey guys, hint. Primus, huh? Even though Primus was not mentioned at all, it was always Quintessa.
Yeah.
And, you know, but I'm just like, no. The thing is, though, if they do something cheesy and stupid, like the Earth transforms and Unicron and Primus, and they have a big, like, space battle and they're fighting, I don't care. Because that's going to be awesome. I mean, people could sit there and say, oh, that's so stupid. I'm just like, yeah, and Thanos is a totally realistic person.
Well, who knows? Maybe Disney will buy Transformers before the next movie, and our next movie could be Galactus versus Unicron versus Primus.
Oh, dreams can come true.
I don't know. I have a feeling we're never going to see, you know, the full-on transformed Primus and Unicron. I think they'll always just be like, oh, we got to stop this guy from happening. You know, if we're lucky, we'll get the TF Prime version of Unicron, but we'll see. We got 2 more movies for sure. Let's see.
Well, at the very least, if they have like an avatar of him, I could deal with that.
Yeah.
Just like, I mean,
some
come
more
on.
Gaia Unicron.
If it transforms, humanity's dead. Let's be realistic. If Unicron transforms, humanity is dead. Unless we find a way to coexist on him in pieces, but part of the continents are all split apart, and the ocean is over here, and he has, because we have this self-gravity on the other parts of himself just to sustain like himself. So, I mean, I can't wait. I'm excited. Unicron, I mean, Headmasters, I mean, thank you, Michael Bay. If you hate the movie, I'm sorry, but I loved it. I mean, I understand the critics like to tear it apart because La La Land was such a great freaking movie. I mean, I'd never heard of it. It was in the theaters maybe like a week. But hey, yeah, the Oscars
La La
seemed
Land
like,
robs some much better movies, but that's another thing.
But we haven't heard anything from Necro. He's been very quiet. Mike?
I think we lost
All right.
him.
Well, one thing I just
You know,
thought
I
of,
finally
kinda-
fell over and
we
took
did
him
lose him.
out.
I was thinking about the third movie. We had a couple nods to Dark of the Moon. We got to see the Ark again on the moon.
Yeah.
That was nice to see.
Yeah. Freud.
And also, I think the entire scene of the Halos or the Ospreys doing a Halo jump felt like a redo of Dark of the Moon. Instead of humans jumping out of Ospreys, we got the Ospreys jumping out of a bigger ship, doing the same damn thing.
Yeah, and we also got to see, you know, the main pyramid from Revenge of the Fallen. You know, what was
Get
left
destroyed
of it
again.
Destroyed too.
That should be a running gag for Michael Bay. Every movie he makes, there should be a pyramid destroyed some form or another.
We have too many goddamn running gags anyway. Did a Michael Bay drinking game, you would be dead in 10 minutes. I couldn't count the number of scenes that went to sunset to broad daylight back to sunset.
Yeah. Well, if anything, he's not anything if not patriotic.
That's for sure. Nothing wrong with that.
I did like some of the morality lessons it tried to go for. I liked Isabella's little spiel about, Transformers, they're refugees. They're here for a reason. They wouldn't want to be leaving their home if they didn't have to. And also, Cade, when he was telling the soldiers that they're the ones who lost faith in Optimus and his team. They're the ones that turned on them, their loss of faith. So, I like those 2 bits.
Yeah.
I don't think those were political anyway. I didn't take them that way. I just thought it was a powerful moment, and it actually,
I don't think
like,
good morals are political. I think good morals should be good morals.
Yeah.
I love the I just loved it. I want to see it again. I don't know why people hate it so much. I think
the
it's
first
because they go
two-thirds
to
were really good, and then it turned into bullshit. That's why.
But it was beautiful.
It was beautiful CG bullshit. I will agree.
Somebody was saying that, I forget who it was, but they were saying that this one was the worst of the movies, and I think I asked the question, like, how is it possibly worse than Age of Extinction? Like, I don't understand. That was one giant billboard catering to China with crap for transformation,
and deliberate product placement.
Yeah, it was a giant billboard. I caught the one product placement here with Bud Light. I've seen, somebody posted a bunch of stills about Age of Extinction. Like the shirt that the kid wore had mobile on it. Like.
Oh, by the way, Bran, did you catch the Wrecker Autobots logo on the submarine?
No, I did not.
Where on the sub?
On the front, on the left side, when they're getting out of the sub and they show the scene, I was like, I turned around and said, "Dude, that's a Wrecker symbol. That's broadside."
Yeah, it might be.
That would be awesome.
And then when I saw that, I was like, "Oh my gosh, Transform Blues!"
Right, a sub instead of an aircraft carrier. That's a little more realistic for sizes.
It's he's in the ocean, huh?
Yeah.
Give me a
Hopefully
decent toy, I'll buy it.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, yeah. I've got both submarine transformers that now exist. One of them's a GoBot.
Well, didn't we get one with the power core combiners?
Not the power core combiners. There's a mini bot. He's a World War II style U-boat. I have him next to the deep dive GoBot. I think those are the only ones.
Yeah, but when I saw that Wrecker symbol, I mean, what I was doing, I remember someone said that there was tons of fan winks and servers through the whole movie. So I kept watching and I kept finding little things here and there, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, dude!" And when I saw that Wrecker symbol, I was like, "Oh, jeez." And people say there's too much too fast. Okay, I came in the theater half hour early, waited another 20 minutes, and the movie was over and done, and I still wanted more, and I wasn't tired. Until an hour later, then I was tired.
I thought the pacing was pretty good for a long movie.
Yeah.
I was not bored, for sure.
I will say I could have done without the whole the drone hunting scene, where the TRF drones are hunting and trying to kill people. I could have done without that whole scene. That felt very superfluous, but the rest of it worked for me.
Just when you watch it again, think of robot footballs, and you will enjoy the scene so much more.
Right? Like
I mean, when I saw drones,
like they're trying to capture him to get information, and they're then at the same time shoving him out windows. I'm like, okay, getting a little aggressive here.
Well, he survived, so that's all that matters.
Yeah, well, but so there's the plot point of Mark Wahlberg is the last knight. So if he's done with the movies, what are we doing there?
Just no more Night Transformers. Oh well. We have other toys we need to sell.
Yeah. As long as we get more figures, more toys, whatever.
Yeah, I Nitro Zeus, when that Voyager comes out, I'm so buying it.
Oh, yeah.
So is that Shockwave's
and
head
then I'm going to rip
Nitro
his head
Zeus?
off, put Cogman on it.
Yeah, was it just me, or was Nitro Zeus's head just a rehash of Shockwave's?
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
It seemed pretty dead on to Shockwave's head.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen them reuse the CGI models for figures. That's why I was thinking like that jet, the second or two that he's on screen, I was like, is that a small silver jet fighter? Like, so I know it's a cost saving thing, because those CGI models are insanely expensive to generate.
So it was weird. Like there's some reuse of some previous models, and then they make these brand new ones that barely have any screen time. I could not make sense of that.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Yeah, Canopy and Bulldog and that jet. Mohawk was barely in it. And Onslaught was probably a rehashed parts of his model. So.
Well, the interesting thing about Mohawk, he's not dead.
Well, he was still chatting as his head flew, but that's the rule. If your head falls off, you're dead.
So that's a Bumblebee when he fell apart.
Again, Bumblebee is the werewolf from Monster Squad.
I will say one of my biggest issues with the movie is how Bumblebee. Okay, so his
He rips
when he
his
first,
voice box out and still talks.
well, no, when he falls apart on purpose to come back together to defeat all the guys. Okay, all right, I can buy that. But then
All
at
those
the
guys would be
end, when
dead.
Optimus is just ripping parts off of him and beating the crap out of him, and then Optimus, snaps out of it or defeats whatever programming he, was given, and then in the background you see Bumblebee, like all his parts start coming back to him magnetically. I'm like, I don't know, I'm not buying it. I'm not a big fan of that. Like in the first movie, he literally gets blown in half and can't do nothing about it. Like, what changed here?
You will have to watch the Bumblebee movie, starring Bumblebee, everyone's favorite Transformers character, to know the hidden backstory on that.
Like, why is he so popular with kids? You think, isn't it Optimus?
I don't know what the hell kids like anymore. Setting fires, I think. So
I was at Toys R Us yesterday, and I picked up, the little 2-pack Toys R Us exclusive Legion, Bumblebee, and Megatron. Which this Megatron figure, by the way, is ridiculously fun and awesome. But I'm standing there and I'm looking out the aisle, and this little kid's there, and he sees me pick up the thing. And he's like, "Oh, this kid's like 8. He's like, "Oh, you like Transformers?" I was like, "You bet I do. I love them." It's like, "Oh, have you seen the movie?" I was like, "I've seen it twice." He's like, "Oh, like I don't want to get spoiled, but does Bumblebee get killed?" I was like, "Man, I wish." I could have just ruined that kid and just been like, "Oh my god, Bumblebee!" Like they rip him apart, like it's pretty brutal. Like his energon just leaks out everywhere. But like his mom was like 8 feet away, and I was like, I just need to stop talking to children in Toys R Us and leave.
There's no way to win talking to a kid in Toys R Us.
Yeah, I was like, like I was trying to like not make eye contact and just be like, "Oh yeah, I love them." Not about to pull out my phone and start showing him pictures of my collection, because there's no way the judge is going to look on that favorably. Like there's going to be security camera footage of me showing some kid pictures on my phone, and he's freaking out. I'm like, "Oh shit, I'm going to go to jail." Yeah,
I'm gonna lose my license. I'm gonna get investigated.
yes, like it's just not going to end well.
Perception,
Perception is reality.
easily skewed.
Screwed.
Tell me you're
Skewed. Thanks,
stroking
honey.
out again.
I don't. Sometimes I can't talk. I don't know what causes it. Maz thinks I'm having minor strokes.
No, not minor. I think you're having full blown. You're gonna be fucking dead in 3 minutes.
Does one side of your body feel dumb and tingly and stop working? If so, then get your ass to a hospital.
How about I just call you, Bran? I'll call you online. Bran, I can't feel my face. Go to the hospital.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I work in a neuro ICU, so I'm your guy for strokes.
Ooh, excellent.
Yeah, that's our bread and butter.
And I'm the guy for after you've had a stroke and how to deal with this shit.
Yeah. He's like, "Oh, you want to know how to deal with that? Well, pray. If you believe in God, pray. Other than that, there's not much."
There are no miracles.
No, there's not.
All right,
Bummer. I was really hoping CP
that's
would
the
get on
last
it.
night.
Yeah, surprisingly, there was not much salt between the three of us.
Yeah,
I
kind of thought Maz was going to be, with Soundwave and not be a fan. But apparently Soundwave was the one who was saying that it was the worst one ever.
Oh my god! Oh, he was cussing and he was getting hot, and I'm just like,
Yeah, I think it's best one since the first one for sure. If you can argue which one you like better, but no, I think he did much better on this one. Again, I still thought it was bullshit the last third, but
yeah.
But you liked it.
Yeah, I'm middle of the road on it. I liked it overall. I think it's definitely best one to go see. I have no doubt of that. Just irritated that I could see some things with just some tune-ups, or someone could tell Michael Bay no sometimes. This could have been great.
That man's getting paid like $70 million per movie. Who's going to tell him no? Like, he's doing his deal.
I think he's getting paid more than $70 million.
That was like 2 movies ago. Like he was getting like 75 or something. So.
Yeah, I think he's exceeded that easily.
Well, supposedly he did come out and say he is officially done. Of course, he did that like 2 movies ago.
Yeah, it's just contract stuff on his regard.
But didn't you guys hear like the post made that someone, I don't know who, was saying that he may not be done?
Of course he's not. If he gets paid what he wants to get paid, he will be back. Damn it.
And and I think people think Bay doesn't care about his movies. I think he put more effort in this one than Age of Extinction and Dark of the Moon, as far as character development, story. Yeah, I think
he did, and it hurt so bad that he broke 2/3 of the way through and went back to his normal ways.
Well, I enjoyed it, and it's. I mean, like I was saying in a previous podcast, Maz, the U.S. market is no longer the king of the mountain when it comes to success.
Anything?
Because it's like when Age of Extinction came out. In the U.S., it did about close to 300 million, about 298, 99, something like that. Right? Maybe it did 300 million, but internationally, all the other theaters around the world, it did over 800 to almost 900 million. So we are literally a fraction of the overall profits they made from Age of Extinction. So, and they just opened in Asia, and its numbers are supposedly really strong, which not surprised. And if people are wondering why the movie was so fast paced and they try to add every theme into it, now, Maz, you probably understand this. Over there in China, particularly, the peasants were really poor, and so the reason why kung fu movies originally had comedy, drama, and action, and and all in one movie instead of making like a serious movie and not have comedy and all this stuff, because peasants would not pay to just see drama, to just see a comedy, to just see action. They wanted it all in one shot. So filmmakers were making movies that did all that in one shot. So I'm thinking Michael Bay designed this movie not just for the U.S. market. He designed it for every country around the planet.
Well, in general, I like my stories to have a mix of some comedy, some serious, because life is not all one way. So having both, I'm in full agreement on.
Yeah, I'm okay with it as is.
All right. Well, let's just close this out. Have you guys just give a 1-sentence summary.
It's if you're a Transformer fan, you need to see it.
All can be spoiled by saying one bot's name, Unicron.
If you're going to see one movie this summer, go see Wonder Woman. Otherwise, go see Last Night.
Oh yeah, Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was great. I don't know what people are.
I haven't seen Wonder Woman. I've heard how great it is, and now I want to go see it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
All right. Well, that's it. Good night, folks.
Good night. Beast in, beast
Bye.
out.